Good afternoon, women of Long Beach. My name is Cindy Allen, and I am the Vice Mayor, and I represent Council District Number 2. Thank you all for being here today at the Civic Center. I also want to thank Suffrage 100 and Zoe Nicholson for all of your efforts to educate women in Long Beach and for putting together today's celebration. Thank you, Zoe. I'm so proud to be in a position to support you. Your advocacy is critical in the intersectional advancement of women. We come together to celebrate the history of women in our community and celebrate the leaders and advocates who work to improve the lives of women. Also, I have to say I'd like to celebrate that we have the majority of women on council. So, woo! So I'm just thrilled to be able to provide a welcome for this fantastic event with music and celebration and definitely recognition of all of our trailblazers. We have all come together to continue to support each other because God knows we need it, especially in today's world. I know that I had a wonderful time Saturday night spending time with a bunch of folks in drag, and I'm so proud that we're here to support that as well. I look forward to years to come as we celebrate more and more accomplishments together. I hope that you all join us in the City Council chambers following several presentations about women in Long Beach and the process for forming our Women's Commission. Thank you for all you do, and that's enough from me, and I want to welcome the incredible, the great Zoe.
I hope you get all my emails. I wrote you. So I think the Silent Sentinels are coming out now. So I can't resist a moment to tell you that they stood in front of the White House for 17 months, 6 days a week for 8 hours, rain or shine. The reason they stood in silence was pretty great because nobody could ask them any questions. Unlike the 3,000 questions I got asked in the last 20 minutes for which I have no answer. But anyway, I'm really proud of the Sentinels, and if you come into the program tonight, you'll see some wonderful photographs of the things that we have done in the last 3 years that are really important, and I believe have elevated the understanding of women's history for the entire city of Long Beach. And another group we have that is so fantastic is our theater group, our singing group. And I'm really proud to be presenting a short drama by the Long Beach Suffrage 100, written and directed by Martha Duncan and Lisa Bodie Hurd. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Long Beach. We are so excited to be here to celebrate Women's History Month. In a few moments, the City Council will be voting to send a proposal to the City Attorney to create a commission for women and girls. This is a proposal that was first submitted by Councilwoman Renee Simon in 1975, 48 years ago. Mrs. Simon's proposal was rejected. Why? Because she was unable to get any of her fellow council members to second the proposal. I think we are going to see a different result today.
In In California, Long Beach plays a special role in women's history, specifically the history of women's struggle to win the right to vote. I invite you to turn around and look across Ocean Boulevard. On that very site sat the opulent Hotel Virginia.
In May of 1911, hundreds of female delegates gathered at that hotel for the 10th annual convention of the California Federation of Women's Clubs, representing 25,000 members throughout the state. The meeting was inspirational, and clubs across California dedicated their efforts to the women's suffrage movement. These pioneering women successfully earned the right to vote for California women in 1911, 9 years before the passage of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution, securing the right to vote for women nationwide.
Resolved! Resolved! Please join me in welcoming Henry, Sammy, Maddie, and Nava from the Jewel Box Children's Theater.
Five, six, 7, 8. Long Beach by the sea, there Virginia waits for me. How her eyes with love light beam, a queen among 1,000 queens, and where the breakers flash and play. Every day's a holiday, life's one loving melody in Long Beach by the sea. Long Beach by the sea, there Virginia waits for me. How her eyes with love light beam, a queen among 1,000 queens, and where the breakers flash and play. Every day's a holiday, life's one loving melody in Long Beach by the sea. Long Beach by the sea, Long Beach by the sea. This next song that we will be performing is called Blue Skies. Five, six, 7, 8. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurry by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurry by, when you're and love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. From now on. From now on. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Nava, and this is Sammy, Maddie, and Henry, and we are part of Jewel Box Children's Theater Company. Thank you.
Thank you, Jewel Box Children's Theater Company. California women have consistently been on the forefront of history for voting rights, labor rights, reproductive rights, and the fight for equality. And the women of Long Beach have been shaping this city since its days as a sleepy seaside town incorporated in 1888 with a total of 59 buildings and 1 school. We want to highlight some of these remarkable women, including some of their own words of wisdom echoing through the years. Women who broke barriers, shattered glass ceilings, and led the way for all of us. Resolve!
Resolve! Fanny Bixby Spencer, the youngest daughter of Long Beach founders Margaret and Jotham Bixby. Fanny Bixby Spencer was born in 1879. Fanny was no shrinking violet. She was a socialist and pacifist and was hired by the Long Beach Police Department in 1908, making her one of the country's earliest policewomen.
Fanny and her husband, Carl Spencer, were known for their extensive philanthropic work and helped found the town of Costa Mesa. Before her untimely death at the age of 51, Fanny wrote to her cousin, Sarah Bixby Smith, "I have 3 lines of work: bringing up my foster children, helping my neighbors, and banging my head against the stone wall of militarism and conservatism that hems me in."
Resolve!
Ellen Ward. Born in 1937 in Los Angeles, Ellen Ward was on the cutting edge of the gay liberation movement. Ellen's leadership, sense of justice, and commitment to the LGBTQ community spilled out in multiple arenas. Seeking to create a safe gathering place for lesbians, Ellen and her partners created the famous Que Sera Bar on 7th Street in 1975.
Ellen was propelled to join the groundbreaking Gay Business Alliance due to police harassment and entrapment stings in gay bars. Ellen served for many years on the board of the LGBTQ Center and founded AIDS Walk Long Beach and served as its executive director for 9 years.
Resolve! Resolve!
Doris Topsy Elvard, known to many as Mother Doris. Doris Topsy Elvard came to Long Beach as a young girl in 1942, moving west from deep South Mississippi as part of the Great Migration. Doris retired in 1988 after 35 years of public service with the California Youth Authority and the Los Angeles County Probation Department. But Doris was not done yet.
In 1992, Doris became the first African-American woman to be elected to the Long Beach City Council. She successfully organized many activities, including the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Unity Parade and celebration. But Doris was not done yet.
In 2003, Doris was nominated to serve on the Port of Long Beach Harbor Board of Commissioners, becoming the first African-American and only the 3rd woman to serve on the 5-member commission in its then 80-year history. Doris mentored so many women of color, and it is said that one of her favorite things to say to them was, "We're here to humanize the world. That is our job."
Resolve! Resolve!
Eunice Santo. Eunice Santo was the first Asian American woman to serve as mayor of a major American city. Eunice served as mayor of Long Beach for 2 years in the early 1980s, guiding our city through a period of economic turmoil. Born in California, Santo's family was forced to move out of state during World War II due to Executive Order 9066, voluntarily relocating to Colorado.
Eunice said it isn't necessary or required that I reveal my Japanese background, but I do that because I am neither ashamed or am afraid to face any obstacles or discrimination as a result. I am convinced that if one community is too narrow and prejudiced to have me because of my cultural background, there will be another somewhere that believes in true democracy and desires to see it in action as well as words.
Resolved!
We must remember that long before the sleepy hamlet by the sea was transformed into a major American city, it was home for thousands of years to the Tongva people. It was a time when fish and game were plentiful and the river ran free with fresh water from the mountains. The Tongva developed an extensive trade network in this area and, according to historians, regarded marriage as a diplomatic arrangement that strengthened trading and security needs. This contributed to making marriage an economic relationship, which underscored the importance of women in Tongva tribal society.
The Tonga population was almost completely decimated in a short amount of time by European explorers and by forced indoctrination during the time of the Spanish missions. That history of bloodshed, hatred, and pain led Lillian Valenzuela Robles in 1993 to maintain a vigil to protest plans by Cal State Long Beach to develop a small tract of land that was considered sacred ground.
During her vigil, Lillian told reporters, "This land speaks to me. It calls to me, and I have to do whatever I can to protect it. It is hard sleeping on the ground, but when you have a just cause, it gives you strength." Resolved.
Jenny Oropeza. Jenny Oropeza was a champion for improving public health. Born in 1957 to Mexican immigrants, Jenny began her career in public service as the first Latina student body president at Cal State Long Beach, and her trajectory as a leader had nowhere to go but up.
After serving as the first Latina member of the Long Beach Unified School District, she was elected the first Latina member of the Long Beach City Council. Jenny then moved on to win a seat in the California State Assembly, representing the 55th Assembly District for 6 years before earning a seat in the California State Senate.
Even as she battled her own health issues, she remained dedicated to her constituents and introduced numerous bills to improve and safeguard public health. Speaking about the impact her experience with cancer had on her, she told the Los Angeles Times, "For me, it changed my life. I got lots of gifts out of having this disease. Understanding illness and a huge appreciation for nurses. They really are the healers. It also helped me focus more on environmental issues that may impact our health."
Sadly, Jenny's re-election to the second state Senate term was won posthumously, as she succumbed to her long battle with cancer at the age of 53.
Resolved!
There has only been one 3-term citywide elected mayor of Long Beach. That unique honor goes to our very own Beverly O'Neill. Born right here in Long Beach, Beverly spent 31 years at Long Beach City College as an instructor, advisor, and eventually president.
Beverly served as our esteemed mayor from 1994 to 2006. She took office at a particularly troubling time for Long Beach. The boom years that followed the end of World War II were turning dire, and the city was crumbling and collapsing into the massive holes left by the departure of the Navy and McDonnell Douglas, the city's 2 biggest employers, resulting in thousands of lost jobs. In reinventing the city, O'Neill's administration came up with what's now somewhat famously called the 3 T's: trade, tourism, and technology, with a rogue R tacked on for retail.
As Beverly herself reflected about Long Beach, "I'm proud of having been its mayor anybody who thinks this isn't the best place, it's got the best weather, the best breezes. It's just a wonderful city.
Resolved.
One building to the east of us, the Long Beach Main Library, is named for Long Beach's most recognizable citizen, Billie Jean King. Billie Jean Moffett and her brother Randy, a well-known author, athlete in his own right, grew up in Wrigley Heights. Billie Jean took her first tennis lesson on public courts in Long Beach. And to help her go on to further competitions, the Long Beach Century Club funded her admission fees. She went on to become the world's #1 tennis player, winning 39 major titles, and is regarded as many as the best tennis player of all time.
Off the court, Billie Jean was an advocate for gender equality. She campaigned for equal prize money in the men's and women's games. Her famous Battle of the Sexes match against Bobby Riggs in 1973 prompted this observation by her. To beat a 55-year-old guy was no thrill for me. The thrill was exposing a lot of new people to tennis. Billie Jean also observed, the cliche is to say that champions play the big points better. Yes, but that's only half of it. The champions play their weaknesses better.
Resolved.
Resolved.
Thank you, ladies, for those amazing stories of Long Beach women. We are reminded that
We, the people, determine history by our choices.
one person's boldness can fire up others.
2 means someone has that person's back.
A dozen can start a movement.
100 can swing an election.
And 1,000 can change the course of history.
Please welcome back author and force of nature activist Zoe Nicholson to introduce a very important speaker.
Is this where we are?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see if it works.
Try
Does it work?
It's
Yes.
working.
Throw me a challenge. I suppose I say that every day. Some days I kind of wish I'd keep my mouth shut. But then I met Renee, who threw down a challenge. In 1975, not getting a second on a women's commission. I couldn't let it go. And I am so pleased that Renee's going to tell us her story before we go into chamber to see the beginnings. The first time we're going to talk about the reality coming into focus of a commission, a Long Beach Commission for Women and Girls. Renee, tell us whatever you like.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I think that at today's council meeting, I expect we'll all learn something really important. That unlike decades ago, our city no longer ignores issues uniquely affecting women and girls. Let's look at some typical issues women faced in 1975, when I thought it would be a good idea to have such a commission. These are some of the issues that council did ignore. A woman honors law school graduate had applied for a position with our city attorney's office. The city attorney, who was a friend of mine, would not employ a woman lawyer, he said, because the city's legal issues were too complex for a woman lawyer to understand. our oil leases, our tidelands, our port, our water department, our airport, among them. Also in 1975, health department nurses, all women, had approximately the same level of education and training as health inspectors, all male. But the women were earning a lower pay scale. Or women living with abusive partners found little empathy in 1975 from local law enforcement, who claimed she wouldn't file a complaint anyway, so why doesn't she just kiss and make up? Despite these and many other issues in 1975, not one of my male colleagues on the city council would have been aware of or interested in those issues. That was then. Today, Long Beach's elected city attorney is a woman. Our women's shelter and city prosecutor well understand the nature of abusive behavior. City pay scales are not any longer gender related. Today, other issues do abound, however. And we will see what they are in a moment. Okay. For starters, too many young girls are being misled about self-image and about appropriate dating behavior. Female teen suicide rates climb. If unsupervised, social media can take over girls' lives. For many single women heads of household, they need to pick up their interrupted educations. They need encouragement and scholarships. And for women with an interest, we need many more in elected and appointed positions. Our whole city will be the beneficiary with a new commission addressing those issues and many more. Sometimes life throws a detour in our path. For the persistent working around such detours can often lead to an unexpected new route. My congratulations to Zoe Nicholson, one of the truly persistent, and all who joined her for her efforts in guiding the Long Beach Centennial celebration of the 19th Amendment and this Long Beach's recognition of Women's History Month. The Historical Society of Long Beach has organized a great display recognizing Long Beach women who have truly made our city a better place. Be sure to visit that exhibit. And I thank you for the opportunity of sharing some of my thoughts and concerns with you. Thank you.